Please be seated. Well, today we celebrate the shortest pregnancy in history. She found out she was pregnant this morning, and tonight she's having the baby. She was indeed blessed and favored by God. So this is the Sunday when we light our fourth Advent candle, the candle of love. We've had hope, peace, joy, and now love. And what a wonderful way, what a wonderful day to consider this story of Mary, hearing about her pregnancy with Jesus, that she will soon have a child. Mary is a central person to all of humanity. She changed everything. Mary changed everything. You know, periodically a poll will go out. I think the most recent one I read was 1996. Who is the most influential people in the world, or who are the 100 most influential people? And people respond with Buddha and Muhammad, Isaac Newton, Confucius, Simon Peter, Paul of Tarsus. It was actually Mary. She didn't just influence human history by having Jesus. She changed what it is to be human. She changed what it is to be human. Mary is the God-bearer, Theotokos, the one who brings Jesus into the world. She gave God the hospitality to be born. Prior to the incarnation, there was a divide between God and human that could not be bridged, between creator and created. A split that there was no way to get across that abyss until God became human. After the birth of Christ, Emmanuel, God with us, changed everything. Everything. Humans became part of the fellowship of the Trinity, sons and daughters of God. We were created to carry the divine, not to be divine, but to carry the divine, and had become unable, and the incarnation restored our ability to do that. Can y'all hear me? I'm going to leave this right here then. You know, people, especially recently and among my colleagues, but people get wound up about whether Mary was really able to consent. Was she really able to say yes? Which I find a puzzling view. I mean, it's true, this is a big ask. That's true. It's a big favor God's asking of her. But I don't understand that claim. A beautiful gift was given with Mary's consent. Was she supposed to be too young, too poor, too naive, being from a pastoral culture? Maybe too Middle Eastern, not modern enough to truly consent? I just don't understand the question. Mary was all those things, possibly, and yet. You see before you the Lord's servant. Let it happen to me as you have said, she said to Gabriel. That's from the New Jerusalem. Let it happen to me as you have said. And with that answer, she entered the mystery. She entered the wonder, the glory, and the mystery. She said yes on behalf of all of us. She became a co-creator with God. She said yes on behalf of all creation. Her yes changed everything. Did she have that right? Did she have the right to consent to changing all of creation, all of history, all of the world with her yes? Of course, that begs the question, do we? Each of us comes to a moment like Mary's. Each of us is given the gift of a call to which we can say yes. Each of us, by virtue of living and acting in this world, can change it, heal it, bless it. There's a sense in which each of us is Mary. Let it happen to me as you have said. We can all say yes. We can all say that to God. That answer celebrates the unfolding of God's action in our lives and in history, always loving, always saving, always abundant. Each of us, even those of us who are not Theotokos, God-bearers, can carry God's light, and each of us receives our turn to say yes. Gabriel stands before each of us with a message of affirmation, of beauty, an offer of adventure into the mystery of God's salvific action. When we consent, we all say yes to the mystery of how that will unfold. I sometimes think of Mary's yes and what it meant to the children that I know and love. Think of the children you know and love. None of us knows what will unfold when we have a child, the joy and the glory available to us as we watch tiny people grow up. None of us knows when we consent to having that child who that child will grow to be, to their family, to their community, to the world. Each child is a mystery. None of us sees fully, clearly before our yes. We certainly don't know what they'll put us through, especially the teenage twins. The mystery of divine life lives in every child. The mystery of divine life lives in every child, even though each child is not fully divine as Jesus was, not fully God, yet each child was uniquely created to be a vessel holding divine life. Think of Mary now. Think of her yes for the children in your life. We have only hope. The torch of wonder lighting where that path will take us. Only faith. Only the love of adventure and the love of that child in our hearts as we say, let it be to me as you have said. And so it is for every call on our life. Yes always means assenting to mystery. The story we hear today celebrates the unfolding of God's action in our lives and in history, always loving. Each of us, even those who are not Theotokos, receives our turn. Gabriel stands before each of us. May this be a season for you of saying, let it happen to me as you have said to God. And for you in your life, may you hear the words that Mary eventually heard. Blessed are they who believed that there would be a fulfillment of what was spoken to them by the Lord. Amen.